Alright folks, this is off script number 2. This is a roundup of the previous month's script, and this is overdue actually because I'm already a couple of weeks into the next script after this one. So in about a week's time I'm going to have to do off script number 3, and this is already taking me way too long to do. So, off script number 2. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, there you go. So I guess I'll see you next month. No, I owe you all an apology. I owe Therismos an apology. I got the Grape Galina and I haven't reviewed it. MC UK, A Patient's Thoughts, reviewed it. He was really surprised that it was gamma irradiated. Let's put it that way. It shocked him that it was gamma irradiated. It's got flavour. You can taste the grape in it, or you can smell the grape in it, certainly. As soon as you open the bag, you can smell grape. If there's such a thing as gentle gamma irradiation, the Grape Galina has had it done to it, and it was fairly tasty because of it. I mean, I don't necessarily rate it that highly in terms of, I'm not sure I'd get it again. There was something still a bit cardboardy about it, and it could have been my bias against gamma irradiation, I don't know, but I think there was still something a bit strange about it, and it didn't give off that much rosin. It was a fairly dry rosin, but it did have flavour to it, which was nice, and it worked for MC UK's pain as well. So in those respects, it's kind of a thumbs up for the Grape Galina. It's hard to discount it, considering it works for pain, got flavour. The Sea of Green the Sea of Green from Therismos, the Strawberry OG. The Strawberry OG woke up a little bit and it pressed really well. It was a nice golden colour. Most of the medical stuff that I press comes out quite dark, and it's been mistreated, it's been overheated, blah blah blah. This pressed into a nice honey colour, golden, and it didn't necessarily have that much flavour, but I could taste, after a week or so, or a couple of weeks of trying to wake it up with a Boveda pack, I could taste strawberry. Would I get it again? Probably not though, to be honest. And nothing to do with the bag that it comes in either. But it just wasn't tasty enough, and there's other options on the market. You know, I'd rather save the money on something like that, and I would go for more of, you know, putting it towards more of something that I absolutely love. However, that review's out there, and I don't need to say all that, but yeah, it woke up a little bit, produced really nice and a lot of rosin. Yeah, that's those two out of the way. And yeah, the Strawberry OG came from Spain, the Grape Galina came from South Africa, that do the grow versions of the Grape Galina, and they do the Creamy Keys that was featured in a review on the channel as well. Hexagon Mac, no, there's just no point. Again, actually, it gave off a fairly decent amount of golden coloured rosin. Was honey-like and looked nice. But as a flower, no. ATG, you know what I think, yes. Green Carrot, SD, muted, just muted as hell. It was okay as, again, as rosin, as a concentrate. It was pretty nice. But you shouldn't be having to take it to the extent of concentrating it to be able to get flavour out of it. I know this is one that's been dividing people, I think. It's been one that's been dividing people. And my suspicions are it's because Portocana are doing something. They're either letting everything that they've got overheat, something's going on, or Cantourage UK are treating it really badly where they're storing it. Something is going on with it that's causing it to lose nearly all of its flavour. And this is part of what I'm starting to call Cantourage and Portocana's massive THCA experiment, where they're providing us with largely dead meds that are giving people just pretty much purely a THC high. If you do that to me, I'm going to get an ocular migraine. So that's not medication. You're leaving yourselves wide open to being sued at some point. You're playing with fire at the minute, guys, folk, ladies and germs. The Green Carrot SD was a maybe. It seems to be from tub to tub. It's incredibly variable about whether you're going to get a decent tub with some decent flower in it. It looked like it had been left in the sun. So that was pretty much a no for that one as well. So, Tiger's Eye. I think this was on its way out, but I also think, however good this is for other ailments, this is another one that is probably about a third to a quarter as effective as it should be. It certainly hasn't got all those flavours it should have. Again, it's certainly not one that's got anything about it that's particularly like awesome weed, awesome cannabis. It's muted as hell. It's at best half effective as it should be. It didn't last. The bowls were over really quickly. I was having to have bowl after bowl to get it to be effective. None of what's available on the medical market should you need more than one bowl to get to where you need to be, really. This stuff, No, not going to do it. So, for me, this Tiger's Eye, now I know a lot of people rate it, so I am willing to try the next batch that comes out, but this is Hadeda Desperocus, who also make all the big nasty stuff. The big nasty stuff keeps coming through again and again, muted, ineffective, tastes like garbage when you dab it. They're doing weird things over there. They're not playing fair. They're not doing right by us. And however effective their meds are for you personally, you should know, and you should update your databanks personally, that they aren't going as far as they could be going, and therefore you are being ripped off. This company in particular seems to be bad for this. I don't know what they're doing, but I'd love to know. I'd love for them to actually be honest with us and say, yeah, we're pulling it like 2 weeks early, or yeah, we're spraying it with this at some point, or yeah, we're doing this kind of post-harvest remediation on it, and we don't really... They're not going to be honest with us though, because it's just not going to happen. So anyway, for me, I'll try the next lot that comes in, but I'm assuming it's going to be just as bad as the big nasty stuff that keeps being bad to variable. That's as good as big nasty gets, bad to variable. This to me was variable to bad. So anyway, that was another... One thing I just want to check actually, because I'm not sure I had my Portocana suspicion by this point. Well, wouldn't you know? This is Cantourage and Portocana. So there we go. Let's say it's not Hadeda Desperocus. Let's say it's Portocana or Cantourage. But that doesn't excuse what's going on with IPS and Big Nasty. They're just using the same post-harvest remediation, or just exactly the same. Absolutely awful storage conditions, which is fucking us all over. Anyway. Oh my god. Oh my god. Would you believe the hassle I've had with this? Where do we even start? It was dead. Absolutely dead. The deadest of dead. When I pressed it, it came out as pretty much just sugary THC. When I tried it as flour, it started giving me a headache. When I tried it as a dab and a flour, it gave me a migraine. I know from personal experiences of dabbing just pure THC, it will give me an ocular migraine, and I've had it again with other products that have been too strong with just THC, and I've had the same ocular migraine. HGH gave me the same ocular migraine. You would not believe the time it's taken to get any kind of responses out of Cantourage. Like, I've had multiple people telling me, oh, I'm sorry I didn't respond to this, I've been on holiday. Alright, and we don't know if we're even allowed to respond to patients. Are you fucking joking? How long have you been in business and you don't know if it's legal for you to respond to patients or not? So stop hiding behind your weaselly words. Stop making me jump through hoops. I've emailed at Cantourage maybe 6 different people, maybe even 10 actually, thinking about it. I've had, I think, 3 responses. None of them from the UK branch. They didn't bother getting back in touch. I'm gonna have one of these because I would like to slow down a little bit and not get heated about this, because it's not worth... Well, it is worth it, but it's not worth it. 2 of the people got back to me, used the I've been on holiday excuse. Both of them said, oh, we don't know if we're allowed to speak to patients or not. I'm a member of the public asking you about your products. Do you stand behind them or not? And I'm not quite sure if they've cottoned on and had a look at my channel as to what's going on and realised that, oh, we do need to actually look at this person's complaint, because they have a bit of a reach. I'm hoping that's not the case, but you don't know with pure business people. I mean, if they make it right with me, fine. But the advice, I didn't ask for any advice, but the advice that I was given was that you've got to go through it with your pharmacist, then they've got to do an investigation, and basically you're going to be waiting about 3 months. And I've replied and said this in an email to someone at Cantourage, that they know as well as we do, that's going to take months, and all they're going to do is come back with, yeah, well, it complied with all the laws and regulations. So that's not very patient first, is it? That's not really looking at the outcome that your product has had and making it right. That's taking people's money and then doing nothing. And I'm seeing it in comments time and time and time again. Oh, I did bother putting a complaint in. I did go through all the effort. Bearing in mind, these are patients. These are a lot of people that are dealing with issues like anxiety, like mental health problems, like severe pain. How the hell do these companies expect that those people are going to go through all the bother of the complaints procedure and the stress and the hassle of it? Now, I can guarantee at some point, somewhere, someone in these clinics has thought, yeah, you know what, we're going to have that as part of our business plan. A load of these people are patients that find it really difficult to even ring us in the first place, so let's make it really difficult for them to complain. It's so rare that I'm hearing anyone say, I got this, it was awful, I rang my clinic, I rang the pharmacy, I rang the producer, I rang whoever it was, and they said, oh really? That's awful. What can we do? Can we help? Can we make this right? Can we give you a credit note? Can we give you half a refund? Can we do something? Can we give you a quarter off the next batch? Can we do anything to help you out other than you need to fill this form in and then it'll take 3 months and everyone will say no? At the moment, I think I heard the other day, there's 45,000 of us, and these companies are raking in the money from us and largely doing the bare minimum. That's it. That's the end of that sentence. Now, I can't say that about my own clinic because they've been really good to me. I can't say that about Welford Clinic because I've not been there. But I can't say that about the Associated Pharmacy in New Grove because they've been really good to me. I can't say that about Therismos. They've been really good to me. They've given, not even good to me, they've been good to us. There's 4 varieties on this table left now. One of them, I had to jump through hoops. I had to send emails to 10 different people just to get the certificate of analysis. If you don't know what the certificate of analysis is, it's the bit of paper that shows that it's passed all the tests that these products are supposed to pass. On that certificate of analysis, you can see the moisture level of what's left in the flour. This was 6%. How it's been stored since that testing, who knows? We've got no idea. But if you ask Cantourage, I tell you what, you won't get any fucking answers and you won't get anything that makes it any clearer as to what the fuck's going on. If you ask BC Green themselves, they won't know either. They said they weren't convinced that low moisture level wasn't going to kill the flour, and I was grateful that he sent me a certificate of analysis. But he sent me a COA of their latest batch that wasn't what we have here, so it was ultimately useless. Someone commented that GLO have flowers coming out, and they've come from BC Green's other company, so it's all just basically exactly the same company, exactly the same growers, exactly the same people. It's going to be potentially exactly the same suppliers, exactly the same manufacturers. Be wary, I guess. I mean, that's ultimately what happens is when they send these products out and I pay through the nose for them to get them, these aren't being provided to me. I'm paying for all these. This is all I spend my money on. I don't buy anything else at all. I don't spend money on anything else at all apart from flour at the moment. And to release one this bad means that I really don't want to try any of the rest of their range. I've got no interest whatsoever, and I really don't want to ask anyone else or say to anyone else or promote them to anyone else. Why bother? This was awful. This was horrible. This made me ill out of this month, and I'm going to look like such a shill, I've realised here actually. But we know already, followers of the channel, that I love the ATG and the QSG. The QSG in particular. I'm considering just switching to the QSG from now on and not bothering with the ATG anymore, because it's, again, the taste comparison is just, the QSG is out of this world. It's beautiful. I had the lemon salmon doozle. I had the lemon sour diesel, and the lemon in it is lovely, the pinene is lovely, but going back to the QSG was just, oh my god, this is it. I've always been a bit more of a fan of, say, a blood orange than some pine and a lemon. You know what I mean? I got the blood orange over here, I got the pine and the fucking lemon. I want the blood orange. So Bud of the Month is obviously QSG, but if we're removing those, seeing as we already all know that I'm going to buy these every month and extol their virtues, then Bud of the Month, oh god, it's 50-50. It's 50-50 between the Sea of Green and whatever that is, the Strawberry OG and the Grape Galina. It's 50-50. That's got more flavour, but I feel that was a better flour. That had been treated more gently, that had been gamma irradiated, but had more flavour, but it was a bit more cardboardy. This pressed much better flour hiding in there, whereas hiding in here was, I think I've just resolved that. It wasn't 50-50. Bud of the Month was the straw. God, what a bad month. Holy shit. No offence to Therismos. Bad month. Strawberry OG was the best Bud of the Month. Good lord. But we all know really it was the Queen Sangria. But I'm, discounting those. Oh. Wow, no wonder I couldn't wait to get my next prescription in. I'd gone through the Queen Sangria and the Atlantic Blue like really quickly last month, so I was just left with all the stuff that I wasn't really happy with. Right, okay. Well, anyway, there we go. If you've got this far, thank you. You help the channel. You help other patients. You are doing solid work by helping other patients. You're doing solid work by watching this. If you can hit like, if you can hit subscribe, if you can hit the bell icon, blah 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 blah, you'll be helping yourself and other patients even more by showing the algorithm that the channel should be promoted and by allowing yourself to see new videos as soon as they're uploaded. We have a giveaway coming up on the channel. There's a giveaway of a cannabis hardware grinder. It's a beautiful looking thing. Here you go. Here's a look at it. Oh yeah, that's fine, isn't it? And I'll get a vaporizer for someone to go with it. All housekeeping done. Anyway, this was a disaster. An absolute disaster. Everyone involved in this should be ashamed of themselves. It's awful. It's awful. Coming up next on the channel, Noidex Green Gelato T23, Noidex Vital Platinum OG T20, and a bin bag full of Therismos Black Russian T22. Outdoor grow, could be interesting. So yeah, check back, those will probably be up by the time this is up. One of these will maybe be in the middle of being edited and uploaded. Stay classy, San Diego.